asked him how he felt last night. He looked away, the room got tight. No words, just shifting eyes, but silence doesn't lie. And though his mouth stayed still, I heard his aching will, like thunder in disguise, behind his quiet eyes. He said nothing back, but I heard it loud. A song without a sound, hidden in the crowd. No melody, no beat to track. Still I felt it, he said nothing back. His coffee cooled, untouched too long. I hummed the truth he couldn't form. The way he blinked, the way he breathed, was everything he couldn't speak. And I just sat and stayed while every word decayed. In every breath he lacked, he told me without speaking back. He said nothing back, but I heard it loud. A song without a sound, hidden in the crowd. No melody, no beat to track. Still I felt it, he said nothing back. Sometimes silence screams like broken dreams. I caught his pain through the quiet rain. He said nothing back, and yet I knew each pause was proof of something true. No melody, no beat to track, but I wrote it down. What he never said back. So I gave the world his silent song, for hearts that speak but don't belong. Now it plays for those who lack the strength to say. He said nothing back. He walked in with old light in his eyes, like something long buried still tries to rise. I played a chord soft as morning rain, and saw his shoulders tremble from the strain. He didn't know the notes by name, but something deep inside him came alive for just a beat, then sank beneath his feet. It was a tune he forgot, not gone, a whisper he knew but couldn't hum along. Somewhere inside it still belonged to a feeling he left too long. I didn't ask, just played it through. Watched him fade into a shade of truth. No lyrics needed, no story told, to a feeling he left too long. His eyes said more than lips could hold, a silent ache that sounded bold. For one brief second's breath, he heard the life he once had left. It was a tune he forgot, not gone, a whisper he knew but couldn't hum along. Somewhere inside it still belonged to a feeling he left too long. Maybe love doesn't end, it just hides in quiet songs and silent rides. He looked at me like time rewound, but still no word, just sound. It was a tune he forgot, not gone, a rhythm his soul kept holding on, that let it play, then let it stop. He never asked, but I wrote the drop. Now it lingers in my chords like something written but ignored. It's his, though he'll never claim the plot. That melody he forgot. She watched him talk around the truth, every sentence hiding proof of stories he won't ever tell. But she could read between so well. Her fingers danced before his voice. On paper she had made the choice to write the words he feared the most, with ink that felt like whispered ghosts. Her pen knew first, before the sound, before his heart had turned around. She felt the shape his silence made, and wrote the song he'd never say. He smiled like nothing hurt inside, but shadows lingered in his eyes. She traced them with a patient hand, and lyrics bloomed like falling sand. He didn't know she'd heard it all, the rise, the tremble, and the fall of thoughts he buried way too deep. She turned them into notes to keep. Her pen knew first, before the sound, before his heart had turned around. She felt the shape his silence made, and wrote the song he'd never say. It wasn't magic, just the truth. The songs can find the hidden you. She never asked, he never shared, but still the melody was there. Her pen knew first, his echo showed. And when he heard the final verse, he knew she felt it, her pen knew first. Now he listens in the dark to lyrics drawn from where he'd start. No need to say, no need to curse, she'd written him, her pen knew first.
There's a weightless kind of ache in the way his fingers shake. Not a word, not even breath, but something soft was left. No echo in the air, just a stillness we both share. Like music wrapped in dust, or dreams we never trust. It's softer than silence, but louder than sleep. It lives in the moments we quietly keep. No thunder, no cry, no tear on the face, but it lingers like perfume we can't quite trace. The clock hands didn't dare to move. The light stood still like it approved of that unspoken gentle space where hearts confess in grace. He didn't flinch, he didn't speak, but I could hear his spirit leak in rhythms left behind that only feeling finds. It's softer than silence, but louder than sleep. It lives in the moments we quietly keep. No thunder, no cry, no tear on the face, but it lingers like perfume we can't quite trace. Some truths don't knock, they flow between the breaths we never show. Like shadows dancing slow, they speak where we don't go. It's softer than silence, but heavy with sound. A song without music, still spinning around. I felt it, I knew he didn't need to speak. It sang through the silence, unique and complete. So I wrote it in a line, no melody, but it rhymed. A hush that moved through space and time. Softer than silence and wholly mine.
We sat like strangers in a frame. No fight, no tears, but not the same. Your coffee cooled, my hand stayed still. The words unspoken broke the will. each second stretched like frozen time, air thick with things not said in rhyme. The ceiling watched, the window stared, but no one asked and no one dared. The room didn't breathe, it held its chest, like both our hearts were second-guessed. No thunderstorm, no sudden scream, just quiet killing every dream. You tapped the table, I looked away. Your mouth stayed closed, had nothing to say, but silence shouted in between. What once was soft now felt unseen. The lights hung below like they could feel the tension we refused to heal. 1,000 truths, all left unread, floating heavy overhead. The room didn't breathe, it held its chest, like both our hearts were second-guessed. No thunderstorm, no sudden scream, just quiet killing every dream. No need for breaking glass or rain. The silence wrapped us both in pain, so loud, so thick, it burned the air. And yet you acted unaware. The room didn't breathe, it just stood still, with all the words we couldn't spill. No touch, no cry, no reason left, just echoes of what we both kept. I left the door just half ajar, let silence know it went too far. But when I turned, I still believed that room, it never breathed. You didn't move, you didn't sigh, but something changed when you met my eyes. No words escaped, but still I knew there was a truth you couldn't undo. It wasn't loud, it wasn't bright, but in that glance the room took flight. The things you didn't want to show, your eyes, they let me know. Your eyes told me what lips could hide, a storm behind your quiet pride. No need to say what hearts can speak. You told me all in just one blink. A twitch, a blink, a tiny shift, like wind before the silence lifts. I read the chapters left unshown, in pupils darker than alone. Your gaze held pages line by line, of something lost, of missed out time. You thought I wouldn't see the ache, but love is ways it doesn't fake. Your eyes told me what lips could hide, a because your eyes so honestly spoke louder than you'd ever be. It wasn't in the words he said, but in the breath he left instead. A second slipped, a heartbeat stalled, and that was when she heard it all. No voice, no sigh, no broken sound, just silence circling all around. But in that still, that quiet draw, she felt the truth she never saw. She heard the pause, not loud but deep, where feelings whisper when they leave. Not what he said, but what he missed. A space between that begged to exist. She didn't ask, she didn't move, but sensed the ache he tried to soothe. The way he blinked, the way he froze, told more than all the words he chose. The hush became her favorite song, a clue to where his thoughts belong. And even though he turned his face, his silence filled the empty space. She heard the pause, not loud but deep, where feelings whisper when they leave. Not what he said, but what he missed. A space between that begged to exist. Some moments speak with nothing said, like echoes soft from thoughts unsaid. And she, the listener of the still, heard every wound he tried to kill. She heard the pause, it told her why he couldn't cry, but couldn't lie. Between his words, she found the cause she knew too well. She heard the pause. So when he left without a sound, she stayed and let her heart resound. For silence always has its claws, and she could hear, she heard the pause. He walked in lost like half a page, a quiet storm behind the cage. She saw the story in his shade and wrote the lines he never made. He didn't ask, he didn't try, but something flickered in his eye, like memories he never met still lived within his silhouette. She knew before he even knew the chords, the wounds he stumbled through. Her melody became the proof of feelings hiding from his truth. He spoke in pauses, thoughts undone, like chasing shadows from the sun. But every crack she softly traced verses he had not embraced. She heard the silence, held it near, and turned it into something clear. The song was there, just waiting slow. She found it where he wouldn't go. She knew before he even knew the chords, the wounds he stumbled through. Her melody became the proof of feelings hiding from his truth. Not every soul can say its name, but music doesn't play that game. She caught the note inside his chest and turned it into gentle rest. She knew before he even knew the rhythm of what he couldn't do. And when he heard the song that night, he felt the part he tried to fight. Now he plays it when alone. Not hers, not his, but all his own. She just listened, then it grew. She knew the song before he knew.
He laughed like everything was right, but his eyes dimmed under the light. A quick deflection joke on cue, but I could feel the weight push through. Some truths don't need to touch the air, they echo softly, unaware. And every grin he threw around carried silence, deeply wound. There were echoes behind his smile, stories hiding all the while. Not in words, but in he walked alone. He spoke of plans and dreams and skies, but dodged the depth behind his eyes. His voice would dance but never stay in places pain could lead the way. There were echoes behind his smile, stories hiding all the while. Not in words, but in the tone. A quiet ache, he walked alone. We all wear masks that fit so well, but some are shaped by things we never tell. I played a song he didn't ask, but saw him loosen, drop the mask. There were echoes behind his smile, they lingered there for just a while. And though he turned and walked away,
He sat there, searching for the start. Words got tangled in his heart. He opened lips, then closed again. The silence spoke instead of him. His fingers tapped a silent plea, like he was stuck between two keys. And though no sentence found its way, I heard what he meant to say. What he meant to say was soft and slow, a kind of truth that doesn't show. He didn't shout, he didn't cry, but something deep was passing by. He looked at me, then looked away. 1,000 thoughts too scared to stay. No script, no line, just quiet breath. A battle fought inside his chest. Some things don't fit the shape of sound, but still they try to hang around. In pauses, stutters, sideways gaze, I heard him speak in subtle ways. What he meant to say was soft and slow, a kind of truth that doesn't show. He didn't shout, he didn't cry, but something deep was passing by. Not all confessions wear a name. Some float between the fear and shame. And though he never found the phrase, his soul still sent a quiet blaze. What he meant to say still stays with me, in every note, in every key. I played it back, the words unframed, and understood, though none were named. So I wrote it line by line, the song he left for me to find. He never said it, but it lay, and all he meant, what he meant to say. What he meant to say. We talked about the weather plane, the traffic work, the chance of rain. But every pause you didn't fill was louder than the words until a rhythm lingered in the space between your smile and your face. I didn't hear the words you meant, but felt the message you never sent. There's a melody between the lines, where silence sings and truth aligns. It's not the sound, it's how you breathe that tells me what you truly leave. You ask me how my day had gone, then drifted out before I'd gone on. has all the answer I need to know. I caught the tune beneath the chat and understood without all that. There's a melody between the lines, where silence sings and truth aligns. It's not the sound, it's how you breathe that tells me what you truly leave. Not every song needs strings or rhymes. Some live in tempo, lost in time. And when you speak with practiced grace, I read the score behind your face. There's a melody between the lines. It played while you said you were fine. I heard it soft, I heard it real, the kind of truth you never spill. So next time words don't quite align, I'll listen close, I'll hear the sign. In every space your voice declines, that plays the melody between the lines. It played one night on midnight air. No credits shown, no name was there. Just chords that wrap around his chest, like something known yet unconfessed. He couldn't place where he had heard each note, each pause, each silent word. But deep inside he felt the line, this song, it might be mine. It was a song she didn't sign, but every lyric fit just fine. No name, no tag, no closing claim. Still somehow he felt the flame. She let it go into the stream. No mark, no face, no stated theme, but every chord called out his name, without a sound, without a frame. It echoed truth he tried to hide, that only she could write inside. She didn't ask, she didn't seek, but knew the language he can't speak. It was a song she didn't sign, but every lyric fit just fine. No name, no tag, no closing claim. Still somehow he felt the flame. He never told her what it meant, but felt like every word was sent from someone who had seen his soul and made the silence sound whole. It was a song she didn't sign, still played in corners of his mind. And though we will never say it loud, he knows she found him in the crowd. Now every time that chorus plays, he drifts back through those wordless days and whispers softly, eyes closed tight. She wrote me once and got it right. He wrote me
scream, no echo bounced inside the scene. But when it came, I caught the sting, like silence pulling on a string. No one flinched, no heads turned, but deep inside something burned. A single note beneath the breath that said more than 1,000 deaths. Did you hear that? It barely moved, but every part of me approved. No crash, no roar, no lightning flash, still hit me like a lightning gash. It hid inside a broken chord, a whisper pressed between the boards. And though the world just carried on, my chest knew something that was wrong. You smiled and others smiled too, but I heard something breaking through. A tremble dressed in velvet skin, a cry that no one else let in. Did you hear that? It barely moved, but every part of me approved. No crash, no roar, no lightning flash, still hit me like a lightning gash. Some things don't beg to be heard, they wear no rhythm, hum no word. But if you're still enough to feel, you'll hear what others call unreal. Did you hear that? I know you did. The truth you thought you always hid, it played between your laughs and lies, and found its way through all disguise. No need to shout, no need to cry, that quiet sound just passed me by. And though you never said it flat, well, I'll always ask, did you hear that?
You didn't write me any lines, but every look was filled with signs. No letters sealed, no words to keep, just melodies you left in sleep. And though you never spoke it loud, your rhythm rose above the crowd. A verse you never dared to send still reached me in the quiet end. Let me say it back, not with a phrase, but chords that echo through the haze. No perfect speech, no fitting track, just music, let me say it back. I caught your feeling in a key, a note that hummed too truthfully. You gave me silence, shaped like sound, and I gave lyrics handed down. You didn't know you left a mark, but it still sings inside the dark. So here's my heart in steady time, I answered you in every rhyme. Let me say it back, not with a phrase, but chords that echo through the haze. No perfect speech, no fitting track, just music, let me say it back. We don't need words to understand. Sometimes a song will hold your hand. Just press play and don't look back. You'll hear me there. I said it back.
No verse to read, no line to write, just chords that shimmer in the night. No chorus shape to rhyme or tell, but every sound still cast the spell. The strings just hummed a quiet truth, no words to guide, no need for proof. It wasn't loud, it didn't cry, but something in me came alive. No lyrics, just feelings, soft and clear, like waves that whisper when you're near. No voice to sing, no tale to spin, but I could feel you deep within. You never named the pain you held, but every note it gently spelled. The pieces that you left unsaid were dancing through the space instead. No message typed, no sentence drawn, but still I knew what lay beyond. You played the ache you couldn't frame, and somehow I still felt the same. No lyrics, just feelings, soft and clear, like waves that whisper when you're near. No voice to sing, no tale to spin, but I could feel you deep within. There are songs that speak without a sound, that wrap around and pull you down. And though the silence held its ground, your soul was singing all around. No lyrics, just feelings, no disguise, just open hearts and quiet skies. You tell me, say no more. I heard it all without it hurt, so let it play, just let it breathe. No need to speak, no need to leave. Some songs don't need to be revealed, to say it all and make you healed. He said enough to sound complete, but left some silence at his feet. A quiet tremble in his tone, like something missing on its own. She heard it in the way he stopped, the space where heavy thoughts just dropped. No need to ask, no need to press. She filled the void with tenderness. Stillness.
told her fine and looked away, but couldn't hide what wouldn't stay. His voice was calm, his hands were not, and that was where her song was caught. She played a chord he never knew, that echoed all he wouldn't do. She didn't need a full explain, the silence held the full refrain. Stillness between his words, so wide, but she could hear what he denied. She wrote a line for every pause and turned his quiet into cause. Some truths don't write unspoken things, they live in how the stillness sings. She didn't speak, she didn't stare, she only played what wasn't there. Stillness between his words, like gold, a melody too shy to hold. And in that gap she heard the thread of all the words he left unsaid. So when he left without a sound, her song stayed spinning note by round. For every stillness he dispersed, she answered back with every verse. Some truths don't write on spoken things, they live in how the stillness sings. She didn't speak, she didn't stare, she only played what wasn't there. She didn't send a note or text, no late night call, no sudden flex, but in her chord she left it clear, the words she wished he'd wanna hear. She played the truth she couldn't say, in minor keys and shades of gray. And though he never saw her eyes, her voice was wrapped in lullabies. The message she hid inside was woven soft with love and pride. No headline bold, no neon sign, just melody in every line. Each verse a page she couldn't write, so she composed it late at night. No need for ink, no spoken plea, just harmony and honesty. He never asked what she had meant, but listened as the chords were sent. And something in his silence stirred, like he could feel what wasn't heard. The message she hid inside was woven soft with love and pride. No headline bold, no neon sign, just melody in every line. They hum beneath the edges bright, and all she feared to say aloud, she sang beneath the quiet crowd. The message she hid inside still plays in echoes late at night. She never said, but he still knew the song was shaped from something true. Now when the final note begins, he hears her where the silence ends. No need to search, no need to guide. He found the message she hid inside.
He found it on a quiet day, a song that drifted through his way. No title bold, no claim, no name, just something deep that gently came. He didn't search, he didn't seek, but something stirred and made him weak. A chord that knew his quiet pain, like it had walked through all his rain. He didn't know he needed a melody that softly pleaded. No words to fix, no plan to heal, just sound that made his silence real. He played it once, then played again, like pieces he could not explain. And in that loop he felt release, like something lost had found its peace. The way it rose, then fell with grace, it mirrored lines upon his face. Not loud, not proud, not dressed in style, but held his hurt and stayed a while. He didn't know he needed a melody that softly pleaded. No words to fix, no plan to heal, just sound that made his silence real. It said the things he never spoke, it held the weight that never broke. She never told him it was his, but somehow it just always is. He didn't know he needed the song that made him feel completed. It wasn't hers, it wasn't planned, but it still fit inside his hands. And now when shadows start to rise, he hums the tune with closing eyes. It found the space he left unfreed. That song he didn't know he'd need.